This is a second round match. The winner will go straight into single elimination, and of course Duong Quoc Hoang is an overwhelming favorite.
Less than a month ago, a lot of pool was played, and this guy is the one that ended up on top. A very impressive win.
YouTube channel, it is available over there as well. So there's no excuse for missing this excellent event.
When he elevates the cue, how good he is, but something about Duong, and it's been like that for a long time in my opinion. He just stays so steady. Of course, to question the aim, maybe. You know, when the ball's near the rail, it kind of gives you a guide a little bit on where. I was just thinking about him and some others right before this match kicked off, and you know, he's doing things now because he's one of these guys, I believe it was, of the World Championships. But even there, when he won that match, you could see maybe a little fortunate at times, but some big decisions kind of almost.
Yeah, there are two countries in Asia that are very similar. When a champion emerges like Duong, obviously, he's going to benefit from that greatly. And the other one is Indonesia, and the great beneficiary of that at the moment.
You know, AJ Manis has been talked about the last year, and he's incredible. And don't get me wrong, he, in my opinion, is going to be one of the guys.
Started playing again, and the rest is history.
Aren't afraid to make the big shots. Here he's got a safety option, but I think he's cutting at this 2-ball. Wasn't his best effort, but.
So now, well, the form is good, and one thing I noticed, he's wearing exactly the same pair.
You suspect, anyways. Difficult though with the purple there. He's going to play it light. Great touch. Yeah, and the pressure you feel in those. You know, don't get me wrong. Any final of this magnitude is going to be a lot of pressure. Going after another thin cut, but a lot closer with the cue ball. Should make this.
Yeah,
and Indonesia as well. Don't think those countries don't pay attention to each other a little bit. And, you know, when one's doing a little better than the other, it motivates them.
Looking good, playing with free. But not the best there.
He's a language barrier at times, but these guys understand each other and kind of know how it goes. And I think just that comfort amongst the players has helped it. Boy, this would be a heck of a shot. Rolling this bank in because I think he's a favorite to make it.
Indeed, as well.
Yeah, it didn't quite hit the one how you wanted. Gonna drop the 2 and schedule this year on the World 9-Ball Tour.
Forgetting Torsten home, and that's understandable, but not FEDOR GORST.
I mean, I don't see it in the cards here, you know. Amar being a very big underdog, but I feel like that's going to be a lot the same today. Maybe crediting the change in the format a little bit, knowing the players forward a little off this pink. You know, like a drag a little bit. That's the other thing that tells me he can definitely win these big ones.
I'm going to dig myself out of that home and GORST hole by saying.
Commentators, that's for sure, my buddies. But I wanted the fans to know there were a couple other.
Yeah, of course, yeah, absolutely. Listen,
you know, Childress here. We all talked about it with Thorson trying to Nathan Childress trying to get here and get some points early and maybe get ahead of steam moving into a.
And so a failed bank has led to the.
Kind of opened with a little bit lighter break. Said heck with that. He went
wins this match. It would be his only race to 9. of the week, because then he would go to race to 10 as he just about caresses the 2-ball in. Slightly thinner contact.
Quite as much the English, even though yesterday I was very shocked at a couple of the shots the players played where the ball grabbed really nicely. It's close enough to maybe kill it. And 2 rails was always the shot.
But he's getting very close. I really rate his skills, and when it comes to this, very much up there, and I agree with you, he's world ranking of 24. That has got it.
One thing I want to see is, like in some of these majors, you know, when you're playing the cream of the, I think that's what really separates that upper echelon, or one of the few things anyways. Certain players, they want that battle. You know, they don't want a player to just lay over and give it to them, and really responded beautifully after that, which I think is definitely a great sign.
Didn't he miss a...
Yeah, me and Carl have had a few discussions about the first 2 Reyes Cups. But I mean, all in all, the right team won, the team that played the best. Big favorite, home country favorite, hometown favorite, Sanjin Pelovanovic for match 3. And
it was excellent.
Yeah, I think Sanjin's the perfect type to really feed off of. Hard ball to roll point, just to see players you don't know and the skills they have. We've seen it with the junior tour and the junior tournaments here. Olds that still have that talent and a lot of ways to improve. Gonna draw the ball maybe just to the right side where he's standing, maybe all the way across.
Well, apart from the missed bank in the...
People inquiring about tickets and whatnot, it's gonna, I think, one for the ages. I think Texas is gonna, and Texas Pool is gonna show up in a big way.
Yeah, the event is at the Embassy Suites in Frisco, so if you want to...
Championship there a couple years ago. Went out and watched that. Beautiful golf courses they've built. Which, you know, Dallas and Dia.
Superb. I'm going to give you a little story. Jump shot and fluke the green.
An overcut here. Those are the type of these top guys are not going to be happy about just the cue.
But you'd still heavily fancy him to dish.
This has got to slow down. It's got a heavy roll towards the side. He knew
3 feet away from the pocket it was in.
Yeah, he felt it right away, and this one may be in as well. Oof.
Duong Quoc Hoang is not having things entirely. He's 2-1 up against Željko Skoric.
I think he can make a deep run in one of these events as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
2-3, just kind of coast over by the 7. Could go for the bank as well. I think that's where he was, his choice kind of laid. Yeah, there's going to be a couple things he wants to shore up for sure. It's going towards the 9, so why not put a little extra on it? Then, yeah, pretty natural overall. Could. was going to say, doesn't have to force the second rail here. Trying to use his speed control to come in. Got a little thin. Of course, you and I do a lot of traveling field with our work. And it's always worth it. But I think as much as anything, these players, the way as professional pool players.
Well, there I was saying he needed to be neat. Yeah, Duong was really fortunate there. He could not have let... (5-2) when it might well have been 4-3. Duong got away with one. There's no guarantee.
Yeah, I think that's why we're always still impressed, because there's tons of talent and a lot of know-how out there, but that's just how tough it is.
At least to make big inroads on the international stage. That win over Shane Van Boening we talked about.
Try and come across.
Well, he must be good. He's one of those players.
So that was the name of the club?
Yeah, the Sao Billiards Club, SAO. Did pretty well in this tournament last year, got to the quarterfinals. Eventually lost out 10-6 to PS LABUTIS.
With the change in the format, you say a little easier. It's just less pool to make the single elimination. I wouldn't call it easier. Seeing now Duong, he struggled here today a little bit, and we expect that at times from any great player. But I think you saw on day one a little more of a wake-up call to beat. Don't know if he bumps the 8 here, if he can beat it. Okay, camera angle, I just didn't know.
So, without pulling up any trick.
Yeah, the break is definitely one that he'll go back and work on. May run into the brown here to hold for the 2. Oh, he could come across. Perfect speed. Perfect on the 5. Go ahead and let this cue ball run a little bit off that first cushion. That way you don't get too thin on the purple. Should.
Opposition. I think Duong might have been vulnerable in this match. What with these inefficient braking and also a few mistakes thrown in.
Of course. But we'll show you a little emotion here and there. Yeah, the break just hasn't been the best. Ugly kiss there a little bit, but the cue ball was a little thin on the bottom.
Idrizovic is going to make any impact on this match. He has to take chances of this ilk.
Looks like the pink does go in the left middle. Pink off the 7 if he had to. Oh, he could see it. No need. He wants this to stay off the cushion. I think it's going to end up resting near. Did get a little bit. So good off the rail, though. Yeah, got quite a bit out of it. It's going to get a pretty friendly bump. Now the comment. This needs to go a little bit. Something you don't see from Duong. Yeah, even that one barely made it.
Yeah, the last position, a stock shot. But he recovered just about on the 8 ball, and now he's on the hill.
Aspire to be a great player. They would go to the Philippines for a month or two to try and play as many great players as they can, but I feel like okay, nice shot there, and he's willing to take on the safety off the 3, probably.
Needs a good hit on this, or it could be the beginning of the end. Oh, no hit at all. 8 ball contacted.
Yeah, not much worry here. A little work from the 6 to the 7. You got a little thinner here on the here that way. You could play the cue ball kind of on the line it's on now from the 6 to the 7. This is the thing, he's going to get a hair thin. So now getting past, watch the cue ball open up, whether it's 1 or 2 more cushions after the right rail. Like that.
No, that was very good when he's playing a wide ball from under the rails. Amar Idrizovic is just about to be from 4-2.